everyone, I'm Katie Quinn. I'm a video creator and cookbook author, and I live here in lovely London, England. We are walking along Regent's Canal in Bethnal Green, East London. I love East London, the people, the places, the food. So I'm gonna take you around and show you my absolute favorites. So first we're gonna meet Chef Tom. He is the man behind Hackney's hit restaurant, Cornerstone. It's push. This is your first restaurant, and I know this is like a very challenging thing to tackle. So what has been the most challenging thing of it?
Making the jump from being a chef to being a restaurateur. It's not just buttoned down to being a cook and being in a kitchen, it's the full package, and that for me was the biggest challenge.
Why did you decide to open in Hackney Wick?
Hackney Wick is a very buzzy little community. There's a lot of artists, a lot of hipsters, there's a lot of people like that here. It's an area that has a rough and ready exterior, but it's beautiful. It has a beauty to itself. The art alone is incredible.
Let's talk about food.
I would say our food is honest. For me, there's nothing worse than someone standing at a table telling you for 10 minutes about how they've done this and that to it and how clever they are. Just give someone the food and let that come across. And
the fact that the menu changes all the time. Can you just talk about kind of the fluidity of the menu here?
what I wanted is to have a menu that just reflected what was the best thing that we could buy on the market. So our menu changes once or twice or sometimes, 3 or 4 times in a day.
In a day?
Yeah, seriously. So there might only be 2 nice sea bass of the quality we want on the market that day. So we'll buy them, but then after that we've got some beautiful bream or some beautiful John Dory. So whatever you're getting, whatever species you're getting, it is the best that is available on that market on that day. So the first dish is a cured monkfish, and then we're going to serve it with some little pickled onions and then roast shellfish oil. So you get that really nice, rich, savoury, roasted shellfish kind of flavour. The second dish is a pear and frangipane tart with fresh lime zest over it, which gives it a real boost up in flavour, and clotted cream.
Well, Chef Tom, thank you so much, and I want to check out that food.
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. That was awesome, but we have lots to do today, so let's keep moving. We are in London's Soho neighborhood. It's an exciting place to be. Just around the corner is Kingly Court. I'm gonna take you to meet Asma Khan. She's amazing. She's a powerhouse of a woman, and she started the restaurant Darjeeling Express. Incredible Indian food. Let's go. I've heard you refer to yourself as a warrior.
Yes.
Will you talk a little bit about that and how it relates to what you're doing now?
As a child, every time I felt slighted by other people, I saw myself as a warrior, and I would just close my eyes and imagine myself flying, being victorious. And every time I faced a hurdle, because I was a girl, I was the first person in my family to go to college, to study law, and I did the first female PhD. Everyone was so proud of me. I was going to embarrass everybody by doing the one thing that all the women in my family can do, who are not allowed to go to college, is to cook.
But you have taken that concept, that notion, and flipped it on its head. Talk about all of the women that you have in the kitchen.
All the women in my kitchen are home cooks. For us, all of us is the first restaurant we worked in. Home cooks are brilliant because we can multitask. We are used to cooking in very cramped spaces, and we don't shout at each other. It's not production line cooking. So a lot of restaurants, especially Indian ones, which have like extensive menus, batch cook and put things away. There's nothing in my freezer except Haagen-Dazs ice cream. And that is, how it should be.
When you realized this was your passion, you wanted to follow this path, it's not like you snapped your fingers and had this incredible, successful restaurant in the middle of London, Soho. You had a supper club for 5 years?
Yes, for 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had no money and I had no kind of big support from my family. I did all the supper clubs behind my husband's back every time he traveled.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. My husband's an academic who likes his peace and quiet. The fact that 40 people were coming into his house and eating on his dining table would not have impressed him. So I waited for him to leave, and then it was literally like he left and all the supplies would come in, all the women would turn up. There was chaos, and we would just cook in this kind of crazy way in my house, entertain, wash up. And when he came back, we had no idea this had happened. I did supper clubs because you need a lot of money to open a restaurant. And I didn't have that. And I didn't want to get investors on board because I was afraid that with that money came chains. I have fought too hard. No man or woman was going to put chains on me because they gave me money.
So I have to admit that until recently, I have felt as an American, I have felt like I'm in on a secret that I know about you, that I've eaten at Darjeeling Express. And now with Netflix coming out, and you are not only the first British chef to be featured, but of course the first British female chef to be featured. What was the experience of shooting Chef's Table like?
I had no expectations. What I had not expected was 13 people to turn up in my very small restaurant.
Thank you so much for talking to us. This was so wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Asma is such a rock star, I hardly even know where to take you guys next. But I do think I know where it's got to be, and that's 3 words: English sparkling wine. Down this little alley in East London, past the used furniture store, you'll find an urban winery, Renegade London Wine. Oh my gosh, this is delicious.
It's good, huh?
So I don't know the difference between this and a champagne, because to me it is just as delicious. So what's the difference between English sparkling wine?
So we make this wine in exactly the same method as they do in Champagne. It's called the traditional method, or the method champenoise, and it's essentially 2 fermentations.
So you started Renegade London Wine 2016, a couple years ago, and it's really unique. But for anyone who doesn't know what you do or why it's unique, how would you explain that?
So essentially we're an urban winery. So we're making wine right in the center of London. And we are a winery, not a vineyard, so we don't grow the grapes. So people thinking, how can you make wine in London? We don't grow the grapes, don't worry. We buy them. We buy them from small family-owned vineyards around the UK and around Europe.
So what has the response been?
So far, so good. Brilliant, in fact. Yeah, I mean, we've been very, very lucky that some amazing restaurants and really big supporters in the industry have been fans of this wine.
And what does it mean to you to be creating an artisanal product?
So for us, we're quite a small producer, so we only make 30,000 bottles, which sounds like a lot, but it's really not. And essentially, we hand harvest all of the fruit. We bring it into London, and it's pressed, it's fermented. Everything is done with care and love. We try and do as little as possible to try and preserve the integrity of the fruit that we use. So
how would you say that your wines made here in London, how do they represent London?
Our wines are kind of the essence of London in that they are diversity in a glass.
Nice.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, I'm gonna leave you here, but I will see you in London before long. Cheers.